Well, it's been a weird week. I found out my cousin James Jr. died on Wednesday, and I looking at his two parents working. His father worked at Boeing's there in Missouri until he retired. He had been in the military. He had been in the army. Um, I guess that was Vietnam. Him and my dad both from Vietnam, but my dad was in the Air Force, and I didn't come on major, and he was private. But but anyway, both had been military, unlike our president, and Aunt Ruth had been a seamstress, and she um, ended up being, I guess, intensive care nurse in the hospital there. Um, so they were like, I saw a typical American family. They bought a house. They moved out. Um, they live in St. Louis in this like in the city part. And they moved out into the suburbs. Um, and they were one of the first ones. I remember they first moved out of the suburbs. They were surrounded by corn and all this. And no, it's all traffic. It's all houses. It's and and then you see the decline, and the main decline that happens is like there seems like there's an attack on black people through the education system. I'll say, especially when they started filtering jobs out. What are you going to have these other people do? What are you going to do to keep them busy? You know, what are they going to do if they're not working? You can always look back at what happened with China and how China lost um, one of its main cities to Britain for 50 years, right? And it was cocaine, opiates, right? And that's the problem we have here: cocaine, opiates, big cocaine. Big cocaine, big heroin. It doesn't matter how you get your drug, be it pills, be it codeine from cough syrup, or however. It's really been alcohol. It's really been a way to and then you have the laws that they had where you have to get tested, so that but you see a lot of blame on the victims, because I really, like James Jr., he had a bad drug habit, and um you know nowadays society, we don't like, it's not like you're gonna take your kid to work like maybe what you did in the past, like when they were still farming, or you know um farming, so everything's commercial, everything's, but and I remember that was the best corn, cream corn. I really liked that. That was the best corn, and you could get the cream right from like taking the corn off the. Anyway, that heavy cream or something too if you wanted to a little bit, but I don't even remember that corn showing up in your bowels like that you. So things are different, and like think about their family. When Uncle James retired, you know, I don't know. They worked hard, tried to have nice things, tried to keep up with the Joneses. They never would turn the TV off. Watched all the sports. Big Cardinal fans. Uncle James Sr. was, and both James Jr. and Kenneth, the baby of the family, they were all avid sports people. And you keep busy with the sports, you keep busy. But anyway, the the, you know, And you can see how the choices that parents make and decisions that parents make uh, that cause harm at this child age, around that age, and how uh, another trauma in college could cause everything to fester up and steer the life. So um, anyway, and I think that I think that we have really like let some ways real evil into um, America through greed. Um, like I see Trump and his people's pure evil. I see the way the school system has turned into, especially when like starting in the 70s and whatnot. Like after they had to segregate, you know, um, some of the decisions that they made was not to undermine black people, has really undermined the security of the United States, and it feeds into their greed. It feeds into corruption, and it feeds into this allowing these lobbyists to manipulate our politicians. Look, you know, um, so um, um, and you see today, um, so many people have passed away because you have the crack, the heroin, the methadone, the pills, um, uh, alcohol. You have these different vices that are very toxic to the human body, and a lot of times when you make something taboo or something, uh, it makes people that um, uh, people that are in certain type of it's used to really manipulate vessel and and loss of jobs and family in the court system and everything you know but the what not being able to see the big picture, people being ignorant of what's the reality of the finances, how the money is going, what's going on with our tax money, where is it seeping to? You can see with Trump, him and his people that he brought in, they're spending all the money on elaborate private jets to different places all over the world. That if it wasn't for probably patriotic people that that was like in Texas, like Louisiana came over and helped. You know, it's harder for the average Joe to make it to Puerto Rico and places like that because of the lack of know-how. Getting there, and um, whereas everybody might be able to drive somewhere, you can't necessarily have everybody, and a lot of them both got wrecked up anyway. So it's the president failed miserably. He's been failing ever since because he doesn't have the concept on any humanity. He doesn't have the concept of how to be a leader. He doesn't have the concept how to really be a human. If you look at the people, especially the men, they're very disturbing. Their looks. It looks like we have, and if that's what they call white superiority, I mean, even the Secretary of State, I mean, from all of them, they are real characters, and their behavior is that is sort of very disgusting. How, uh, I mean, they're just so roguish and trifling. in their greed, and and nowadays we're seeing our money going to banks that are doing business offshore, business that are doing, not only the United States, but going in those damn islands. Some of them that got hit. We'll see. So I'm trying to I don't know. Hey, look at the wife he marries. You know what I'm saying? They got married. It's a legal binding contract. You can't respect this man because he never respect the legal binding contract he made with his woman. He's to grab the pussy by grabbing by the pussy because I got money and I can shoot somebody down Fifth Avenue. So what? Nobody's gonna say anything. So he doesn't have 1 ounce of any type of gumption on how to really be a human, and his and his children, they're a product of it. Like they say, the fruit don't fall far from the tree. That you can see there are already been some legal problems that Ivanka and that Eric Jr. has. So, I think that their behavior has been such, so disgusting and so disrespectful to the United States, and to when he made that oath as a president. You know what I'm saying? He's giving that the same respect as he's giving the marriage license. Like, oh well, I'm married. I can still grab women by the pussy. I put some Tic Tacs in my mouth. I kiss them. I think they're beautiful. He has no. He's a selfish man. He's an egotistic man who doesn't care about the woman he's with. She's just something, like property that he bought. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'm sure after his presidency, he'd be trying to pimp her out. That's if Kim Jong or one of them don't get a hold of him. It's just, maybe he can't keep his agreement for Putin. Maybe Putin's gonna do something, and you could know the whole time they, what I'm saying, these white racist motherfuckers. He got up in the White House with them. They want to, look for the black person as to go and somebody else. But it's those motherfuckers that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they got the money and means. Because he done insulted everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? I know he's real paranoid. And he don't snap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if they get him for the racketeering thing, they could go to state level. So a lot of those things, like the business that he had, they could do it from state to state, from New Jersey, New York. He's been in different states, Florida. He gets around a lot. They could each, take different cases, especially now that he's president and the actions that he's doing now, and he cannot give any immunity. The only motherfucker he's gonna end up getting immunity to, because he doesn't understand. He hadn't did his fucking homework. It's not just reading the front page of the Constitution. It's not just doing third grade reading the Constitution. It is understanding how the Constitution applies to everyday living in the now, and how it benefits the American people to keep us secure and to keep the jobs here, and to keep the education here, which has been lacking in a lot of ways, that part of the understanding. But the understanding to keeping the American people safe and secure from foreign and domestic militia terrorists is something he has breached also. He think he's a goddamn Don. No, your name is Donald. You're not the Don of the mafia. You're not even Italian. You're not the Don or anything. What you are is somebody that Putin has been able to manipulate and use because you're so greedy, because you want money. And that's what Putin does. He worked for the Secret Service, the KGB. He was educated by these people, and he worked his way up through the ranks by doing some despicable things to his own people, such as murder, starting wars, which is murder. And he got everybody knows he got the goods on Trump. The only gangster that is Putin in Russia, not you know, not you know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's ridiculous that we have to be in such a situation and so that I mean the way they're doing the election, all they gotta do is like everybody go back to paper ballots because we know there's elections, where everything is going. You got too many greedy motherfuckers that sell their, you know, that are in high power position that are billionaires. You can just look at an example of who we have in the White House right now. And they was giving Obama hell. They're dirty, they low down, and they're evil. And they're a bunch of hypocrites. So everything they say, like, I don't, well, we don't like gays. You're like, they must be on the down low. Oh, we're not against abortion. Oh, here you have this one guy trying to get some lady to have an abortion, and he married another motherfucker, one of these white, Christians that all high and mighty is going to tell everybody how to behave. You know what I'm saying? And his way of telling you how to behave is not to have an abortion. And he's fucking around on his wife. He can't even keep the, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't think that marriage that you have is a legal binding contract, try to get out of that marriage without seeing a judge legally. Okay? That right there should let you know, oh, I got to go to court. I got to go in front of the judge. I have to have a lawyer. I have to invest money to get a lawyer in the first place to get in front of this judge in this court to have this marriage null and void. But we're going to have certain arrangements and agreements in dividing the property that we both assumed in it. So, you know what I'm saying? It is very, very much a legal document. And they very, very much is not the type of people you could trust. And if they don't, you know what I'm saying? If they don't understand, like he probably pissed now because she probably waited till okay, we've been married 10 years. We're in New York. Give me half. Okay? Because trust and believe. These men are not marrying these women because of the attraction the woman also has for them. There's no love there. How could there be? You know what I'm saying? You can't love somebody that don't love you. It's impossible. Please. It's been tried. You know what I'm saying? If they don't let you love them, you can't love them. You're too busy in love with thinking that, he's some illusion of grandiose. Somebody put the voodoo on this motherfucker. You better take it. That motherfucker. He needs to quit. You're fired, Trump. You're fired.